Good morning everyone, it is Wednesday the 7th of February and I'm going to be analysing EU and DXY to see what opportunities we have today. So the purpose of this video is to give you insight into price action analysis for day trading, and this video will be aimed at those who are generally interested in price action analysis or want to learn more. So let's get started. Right, I'll start here on the daily as always. So I've marked out the previous daily high, previous daily low. So the story that this daily chart gives us is that on the previous day we closed out as a bullish doji after all of this bearish momentum, right? So we had swept this sell side liquidity from previous lows and we closed out bullish, right? So the momentum died down, and as you can see so far today we're also continuing bullish. So onto the 4 hour, we can get a better picture of the intraday. Right, so we still have this 4 hour bearish leg from this high to this low. You can see I've got a few notes here. So just a note here so I can see that the sell side liquidity was swept, so I don't ignore this line here. And we've got our 4 hour fair value gap here and order block too, but it's not really gone into the order block. We're still in a discount of this 4 hour leg, right? This is the discount area. However, we have now pulled back after taking this sell side liquidity to this higher time frame POI here. And this POI obviously gives reason that we could continue bearish from here if we see that switch in order flow on a lower time frame. So other than that, on the 4 hour chart, just to note above, we've got this 4 hour fair value gap, and we've got another fair value gap up here which is more in the premium. So that's the reason why I've got this note about buy side liquidity price draws, because although we've come to a 4 hour POI, a higher time frame POI which we could trade from short, we have these things above that could attract price further, and we are still in a discount, right? So they're just there so that I can keep that on my mind, that just because we're at this POI it doesn't mean we're going to continue going downwards. Right, so other than that, we've got our daily fair value gap line here, and I've just got this sign here just to say this is also a draw and target to the downside. So we've taken our previous daily high buy side liquidity here and come in to a 4 hour POI. So on the 1 hour, you can see I've just got a few more things drawn out. So we've got this potential 1 hour leg here, which we are potentially in the premium of, right? Because this internal sweep then broke down this low, giving us this 1 hour leg. We did sweep it, we didn't close beyond it and make a new lower low, and we have got this internal breaker structure, right? Because we broke above this lower high, made a sweep here and broke above it. So that gives us that pullback. So the 4 hour and 1 hour essentially are mixed, but I wouldn't say we're bullish yet. We've still got this POI here, and like I said, on the 4 hour we have this 1 hour fair value gap and order block above, and we have this buy side liquidity above here. This 4 hour fair value gap may not hold price, though currently it is, right? We just need to be aware of these things above, right? So not to confuse ourselves that there's so much on the chart and so many negatives. These are negatives for me to go short, or to not assume short, because price can still go up to meet these areas, right, which would be a more premium POI than where we are. However, we're waiting for the lower time frame to confirm this. So on this 15-minute chart here, we've got all the same POIs above and the same liquidity, but we've got this 15M order block. So price may continue up. It's already swept, well, it's already broken Asia, came down, didn't make the break of structure to the downside, right? So we've got a high low, high high here. So we may make another one. We may sweep this previous high here. We may go into this order block here, and then we'll get our breakdown if we're looking for that bearish move, because we are still bearish, right, on the higher time frame. We do still have plenty of POIs here to hold price. We've still been very corrective after taking this sell side liquidity, although that was overnight, which is why we don't want to make any conclusions that price was slow, so we're definitely going down. Okay, On the 15M, we've got a POI there, which may hold price. So essentially what I'm waiting for, I do have a bearish bias just from analyzing EU. We'll go over to DXY. But I have my bearish bias from EU because the higher time frames are bearish. We are going to watch out for this possible 1 hour internal switch, right, where we've made a new higher high after this. However, that is just the pullback in terms of the higher time frame, right? So even if the 1 hour has made that break, it's come into sell POIs. So now we're mitigating buy side liquidity POIs and we could continue lower. But what I am waiting for to draw it out would be either this to break down and then pull back, or we could get price go up here, maybe even sweep this buy side liquidity, then it's going to break down with whichever structure it created and then pull back up, and we could look for that move down the same as way we could look for that move down here. The reason why I'm not so comfortable with the longs is because we have all of these barriers in our way, right? We have all of these POIs that are negatives that I don't want to trade against. So that's what I see on EU. And we'll go over to DXY now to see if it agrees or what picture it gives us. So we'll start off on the daily on DXY like we did on EU. And you can see yesterday closed out as a big bearish candle. That was after, you know, we broke these previous highs here, which is buy side liquidity, and we've gone into this fair value gap and weekly fair value gap, right? So you can see that pretty clear. You can also see we've broken through this previous daily low, and we have a fair value gap here that price may be drawn to, right? So that's that would give us a bullish EU, right? Let's go down to the 4 hour. So on the 4 hour, just to bring back the higher time frame picture, you can see we've got this 4 hour bullish leg. We've swept buy side liquidity here. We've closed within this 4 hour order block. We also had this SMC divergence where DXY didn't make a higher high when EU made a lower low. So that gave the DXY weakness. And as you can see, we've had bearish pullback since. Here we are on the 4 hour now. We've come into this 4 hour order block. This note here, which is for the lower time frame, I believe, so apologies, I'll have to get rid of that. But we also have this fair value gap here, which could draw price. So we've taken the previous daily low, sell side liquidity, and we've come into a 4 hour POI, which is kind of holding price. You can see we've kind of broken it, but I have that there because, you know, it is a POI, and we have a little bit of internal liquidity below which we could reach for. On the 1 hour, same as EU, we have those same negatives for the bullish picture where the 1 hour has now had an internal switch. We have this 1 hour leg here potentially, and we are in the discount. So we have sell side liquidity below, we have a 1 hour POI here below, and we have more high time frame POIs that can draw price. So as I said on EU, we don't necessarily turn bullish from here and continue the trend. We may reach down further and sweep into these before we go bullish, and we are going to be waiting for that 15-minute break of structure, preferably before deciding that yes, price has switched bullish or not. So we have all of these negatives for a long, but they also give us a bias that, you know, price has a lot of support to go long from. So it does agree with EU that yes, okay, the bearish bias on EU stands, but it doesn't mean we're going to turn from where we are now. So that's what I'm being patient for. So I've just got these notes. We've got these price draws in discount. We've got these price draws which are negative for EU shorts at the moment because they're unmitigated, right? So if we go down to the 15-minute, we are currently being held at this 15-minute order block as well. The structure is still lower low, lower high, right? So until we make a higher high here, it looks like price can continue going down to mitigate these or more. So that's what we want to be careful for. Taking us back to EU, and to summarize, I have a bearish bias. However, we want to see something like this. I want to see something like this. I want to see price break down the structure and pull back, or go up, seek more buy side liquidity, which on DXY would mean more sell side liquidity, and then have that breakdown. So that's my bias for today. Price may or may not do this in London. We are coming over to that time where price just kind of goes sideways, right? But if we get that move, I'm in for the shorts. If I can be in for the shorts, we didn't have that opportunity yesterday when we swept this high here and broke down. I was hoping for that pullback to continue to the previous daily low, but it went without us. I hope you enjoyed that and got the value from that you was looking for. If you did, or you have any comments, then leave a comment. Let me know if I need to explain something further for you, and subscribe. So I'll see you guys soon.